What's up, Kansas City? I'm your host, Glenn Brian Frizzell. Today we are filming in the historic 18th and Vine Jazz District. Welcome to part 2 of our important interview with world-renowned film critic, film extraordinaire, Mr. Shawn Edwards.
I don't know about that.
Let's have a little fun.
All right, let's have some fun.
Let's have some fun, make it happen.
Let's do it.
We know that every now and then a studio, a director makes a film that just totally bombs with American audiences. Godfather 3 comes to my mind.
Wow.
What is on your list of all-time worst film?
Wow. Let me start with this. There's no such thing as a completely bad movie because the filmmaking process is so tremendously difficult. And it truly takes a team of people to pull it off. And it is so incredibly hard to do. But if I had to cite like one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Freddy Got Fingered comes to mind as an all-time classic bad movie.
Was that the one with the earthquake?
No, what was going on? That was the one. No. Freddy Got Fingered. Don't even let that seep into your brain.
I'm thinking Drop Dead Fred now.
Yeah. That's a different one. Freddy Got Fingered. It was no earthquakes, but it felt like it was an earthquake. Another classic bad movie, Belly, because the hype on that before it came out was just so big. And it just flopped so hard because Hype Williams was Mr. I'll make your music video look so cool. He got his shot to do a feature film and it flopped so hard. And you had Nas who couldn't act, Method Man couldn't act. It just a cast of people who couldn't act. The story was disjointed. It was just so bad. And then back in my childhood, the sequel to Purple Rain, Graffiti Bridge by Prince, which was massively horrible. Sequel? It was that is the sequel to Purple Rain, yes. Graffiti Bridge is technically the sequel to Purple Rain, and it's bad. I think it's so bad. Prince has bought every existing copy of that movie on DVD because you never see any copies of it floating around and hardly ever comes on television. It's just, here was the crazy thing about Graffiti Bridge, even the soundtrack was bad. Mm-hmm. Like, at least if Prince is gonna like make a movie, like for Under the Cherry Moon, which was another horrible movie, the soundtrack was banging because in my opinion, that's one of the best Prince albums ever. Even though the movie was garbage, but with Graffiti Bridge, both the movie and the music was bad. So those are some of the movies that immediately come to mind, but there are a lot of other bad movies, but those are the ones that stick out in my mind.
Okay, best film, and let's break this up into two categories. Man. Best of all time and best black film of all time.
There's no such thing.
And do we need 2 lists?
There's no such, yeah, you do need 2 lists. And I don't know if we have enough time to dissect that. Yes, you do need 2 lists. You do need an all-time greatest movies list, and you do need an all-time great black movie list for a lot of cultural reasons that we can, that cultural issue is a whole nother show. We can battle, and believe me, you put that online, you will get a lot of comments in the comments section, but that's for another day. The all-time best movie ever is hard. I can say my all-time favorite best movie ever, like a go-to movie that like sort of stands the test of time. I know it's a cop-out, but I go Wizard of Oz just because great storytelling, memorable characters, memorable dialogue, the songs were cool. I mean, technically, for its day, it was stunning.
In your blacklist, The Wiz?
No. I'm not a fan of The Wiz. On my 100 best black movies of all time, number 1, without a doubt, without any question, is Spike Lee's 1989 classic, Do the Right Thing. That's number 1 on the list. Do the Right Thing, to me, is the best movie about the black experience ever. Followed closely by The Color Purple, followed closely by 12 Years a Slave. I mean, those 3 movies are at the top of the list. Do the Right Thing, The Color Purple, 12 Years a Slave. If you're looking for the all-time best black romantic movies, got to be Claudine, starring Diane Curl and James Earl Jones. Just incredible. Funniest black movie ever, Coming to America. Great soundtrack. Funniest movie ever is a black movie ever is Coming to America. Just classic satire. You can watch the movie over and over and over and over and over and over again. It is so funny. But man, we got the complete list of the 100 best black movies ever at iloveblackmovies.com and the Hall of Fame page. So people can go there, check it out, debate it. You can call me out, tell me how wrong I am, how right I am. That's why we created the list. We just wanted to create and stir some debate.
Now, do you read at all?
Do I read?
Yes. What are some
every
of your favorite,
day? Wait, come on. Wait.
Not newspapers, not magazines. What are some of your favorite literature books? Some of your favorite literature works of art?
Man, like, do I read? No. I started off as a writer. Yes, I love to read, man. Back in the day, that's how I got started. I was a journalist. My all-time favorite book, it swings back and forth, but Toni Morrison Man, I love the way she writes. I would go, my favorite book ever would be Song of Solomon. And I'm glad they have not adapted that into a movie because you can't. Oprah, I know you own the rights. Don't do it. You already failed with Beloved. Do not do it, Oprah. I'm telling you, you cannot adapt Song of Solomon into a movie. It's my favorite book. I will be devastated. But now I'm reading a lot of, I read a lot of nonfiction books. I read a lot of books now about business because I'm in the second half of my life now and I'm trying to figure out how to make all this work as a business and trying to figure out what my future is going to be like in terms of building that foundation financially. So I'm trying to learn the game, jumping into some stocks, trying to figure out how to make iloveblackmovies.com more profitable, learning the TV game, because at the end of the day, I want to produce and, produce television shows, produce movies. So definitely reading up and learning the business angle and figuring out what to do with money, how to make money work for me, like trying to be like a real Hollywood power player because I've learned from actual people out in LA. Thanks for the real life lessons.
Who's your favorite black, I don't want to say it, 70s black action hero?
Oh, blaxploitation hero. Anything that Fred the Hammer Williamson stars in, especially Black Caesar, especially since my dude played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Great actor. He's a very, very underrated actor, and I am appalled at the Kansas City Chiefs that they have not dedicated one of their football Sundays to honoring this dude and his football legacy and his movie legacy. Come on, he's still alive. Invite that dude to Arrowhead Stadium and salute him for playing for the Kansas City Chiefs when they were arguably one of the best football teams in the NFL. And a dude that made a crazy amount of really cool movies.
Shawn Edwards appeal.
No, Arrowhead, it's shameful. It's shameful they haven't had a Fred the Hammer Williamson day at Arrowhead Stadium. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Do they have a Buchanan Day?
I don't know because I'm such a movie dude. You need to honor this dude. Come on, he's Black Caesar.
Yeah.
Come on.
Mr. Edwards, I hope you don't mind me using this next term, but you reviewed a lot of movies and online you've been called a blurb whore. What does that term mean?
I don't know. You got to ask the guys you got to ask those guys. I have no idea because they always get that story incorrectly. So you got to ask the guys there are a couple of websites that do it. They as the story goes, or how I understand it, they think that we get paid to review certain movies, and that flat out doesn't happen. So there's no story there. It just doesn't happen. They don't understand the process, and it's what we call in our circles professional jealousy. So yeah, I'm sure they have a contact. I'm sure they had a contact information at the bottom of their website. Call them up. And I'm sure they would love to talk to you. But whatever. I've been doing this since 2000.
Well, we're about promoting positive energy.
Yeah, no, that's positive too. I ain't mad at them. Everybody's got their opinion, and the world is full of haters. There's nothing. This is for all the young people who may be watching this. If you let haters deter what you want to do in life, you will not get 2 inches.
Let's spend about 4 minutes talking about your background. You were born in Kansas City. What do you remember about the city? Tell us.
Oh, man.
Growing up? What were the theaters, the grocery stores?
Oh, yeah. Well, I remember my mom took us to the movies every weekend. That's how I got into this business in the first place. We watched a lot of movies at the old movie theater in Brookside, which actually burned down, which was right next to the Price Chopper that stands right now, which was right across the street from Crick's Camera, where I bought my first Super 8mm camera when I started making movies in the 7th grade.
Down there at Watts Mills?
No, it's right off of 63rd and
Broadwood.
No, not Broadwood. Nah, we west, baby, west. We was west, KC. Right off of like 63rd and Warner in that area, the Brookside area. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where we were hanging out a lot. But I did watch movies when I was in high school at the Broadwood because that's like all the cute girls were hanging out there. And then they used to have a movie theater in Seville Square on the Country Club Plaza down in the basement. They had like a 6-plex. Although every single screen in that movie theater was smaller than most people's screens they have in their home now. But it was still cool though, because that's where everybody was hanging. It was right next to an arcade. So watch mad amounts of movies there. And we used to watch movies back in the day when the Midland and the Empire actually showed movies. I remember watching like Purple Rain at the Empire.
Wow.
On opening night back in 1984. 1984, back in these days. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, Kansas City was cool. I went to Lincoln College Prep, made my first movie in middle school at Lincoln College Prep Middle School.
Is there still a copy around?
The very, very first movie, yeah, but my boy Craig Tyson has it, and he lives in Portland. He swears it's in a box somewhere. I've been asking him for that forever, but I got a lot of other movies that I made in high school readily available. I was going to do like a a back in the day film festival of some of the stuff that we used to produce back in middle school, high school, and college. If I can just ever find the time to put that stuff out, stuff's terrible, bro. Nobody wants to see it. Stuff's terrible. I mean, nobody wants to see that stuff. We did win some NAACP Axel Awards though. Thanks to that.
Who was your favorite teacher at
Lincoln College Prep? Probably Miss Cochran, because she let us skip school to make movies. She let us skip class to make movies. Miss Cochran was a science teacher. Or Miss Kelly, because we used an empty room next to her room to set up like a makeshift studio where we shot all our movies. Lincoln had a real creative environment, so I mean, they kind of like encouraged that sort of thing.
Why Morehouse?
Why not? Come on. Hey, if you are looking at me and you do not understand why I went to Morehouse, then I cannot. No, Morehouse was my grandparents lived in Princeton, New Jersey. My mom and all my family lives in Princeton and Trenton, and that's when it first popped into my conscience because my grandfather talked about the historical importance of men who graduated from that particular institution that Martin Luther King attended back in the day. And I just, it was always instilled in us, my grandparents in New Jersey had 4 grandkids. Although they wanted one of us desperately to go to Princeton University. They were like, if one of you guys go to Princeton University, it's paid for, covered. But all 4 of us had our own agendas, and we all went to different colleges and universities for various reasons. Plus, also I had a football scholarship at Morehouse, too, so it was free.
Did you do more than 4 years?
No, I did not do more than 4 years, but I technically did not graduate from there because some other things happened. But I did spend 4 years there and then went off and did some other things and then got my degree later.
The Vice President, Joe Biden, is talking about doing a crackdown on college campus crime. Was there a crime down there in Morehouse?
It wasn't any crime on Morehouse, but Morehouse back in the day was in the hood. I mean, it was like crime around the college and maybe some crime that happened on the college, but I mean, nothing that was scary. I mean, Morehouse is located in Southwest Atlanta. Not exactly a picnic back in the day, because remember, I went to Morehouse pre-Olympics, not post-Olympics. The area's a lot better these days since 1996.
Now, you did go to Morehouse back in the day, not back in the old day.
But back in the cut. I went pre-Olympics, though. There's a big difference between pre-Olympic and post-Olympics Morehouse.
Tell me about your audition for School Days. I read about that.
Oh man, I was playing football, and we had spring practice. And I had broken my ankle during spring practice, so I had time to sneak off to an audition. And they didn't really want me in the movie because I had a broken ankle and crutches. So it's like later for you. But then when I got it off, there was a scene that opened up, and they called me. And it was the butt scene that we shot in the gym. It took like 3 days to shoot the butt scene. We were all in swimsuits. The go-go band EU performed the song. They actually took us in a room a couple weeks before that scene, and they played a demo version of the butt and the choreographer taught us the dance that he wanted everybody to do called the butt that Spike Lee had created. Then they called us back. We shot it in the gym. There's a scene where we're all dancing slow. Like we're all coupled up and dancing slow. And the girl that I'm dancing with in that scene is actually my real girlfriend that year. So
wow,
it was fun. It was fun, and after we wrapped shooting, we all hung out. We were hanging out with Lawrence Fishburne and Kadeem Harrison and Jasmine Guy and that whole cast, because they were all up and coming. And they were just as happy to hang out with some college kids as we were to hang out with some up and coming movie stars. It was like a real communal environment. Spike Lee was walking around chilling and. It was fun. We got paid. We got a free T-shirt.
Oh, y'all got paid too.
A free T-shirt.
Free T-shirt.
Don't start no more rumors. You don't want those websites to be like, "See, I told you."
Throwing a free book.
Nah, Spike wasn't giving out no books. Spike was giving out 40 Acres and a Mule T-shirts. That's what he did. He printed T-shirts.
Have you had a chance to interview Spike Lee since?
Oh, of course, yeah. Me and Spike are cool. I love Spike to death. That's my man. I interviewed him like about 10 times. Now we're mad cool. I love Spike and his whole team. I got his back on anything he does. I want to see him get back in the game seriously though. I would like to see the old Spike. It's been a while. I would like to see Spike do something in the feature film department now. He could kill a documentary.
I Got Game.
He's like one of the best documentary makers ever. Yeah, I mean, he got
Better Blues Spike.
Yeah, I mean, He Got Game was compelling. More Better Blues was dope. I'd like to see Do the Right Thing, Jungle Fever Spike. I mean, like that was. Because he should have got nominated for Academy Award for directing Do the Right Thing. I mean, the Academy knows they're dead wrong on that, but that's also another topic for another day. But no,
have you been to the Academy Awards?
I've been once, but I was in the media. It was whack. It was whack. Not the actual show, but media credentials was whack. It was whack. It was whack. I could have watched it at home and had more fun. But I mean, I like being out in LA during that weekend though, because it's fun and I'm a party guy. I like the parties afterwards, like after the Golden Globes, after the SAG Awards, after the Academy Awards, after the Critics' Choice Awards. The parties are the thing.
Now, can you teach someone how to party? Say someone who's straight and kind of nerdy.
You cannot. You can't. That's
you teach me how to find my mojo.
That's DNA. That's you know what?
Austin Powers
that's you know what? Partying hard is DNA.
It's DNA.
It's DNA. No, it really is. It's DNA. People, either you want to do it, you can do it, or you can. It's all DNA. I can't even explain it. It's just it really is all DNA.
Well, Mr. Edwards, I went to a HBCU as well.
Oh, which one?
Washington, D.C.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
HU. It's cool. It's cool. It's more than cool, but
no, we played you guys every year in football.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we play Howard every year. Like we go there, they come to us. Yeah, it was cool.
They played.
That was my second choice. Yeah, that was my second choice. Well, the difference between me attending Morehouse and Howard was I was sick of the cold. Mm-hmm. And if the weather was a little better in D.C., I would have went to Howard. Because I had a football offer at Howard, too. But I chose. I was like,
well, if you know the right person, you can stay warm, man.
No, that's no, they both real good schools, though. I mean, I had a lot of fun.
But back to my point, Mr. Edwards, we sit in class and the teachers and School of Communications push us not to only be talent, but to be in the seat of the decision makers.
Yeah.
Not enough African Americans
run the show.
Giving green lights to these studios who authorize the green light for the film.
That's tough.
So my question to you is it just one big talent show now, or are we having more African Americans in the top positions?
It's getting better very slowly. There still aren't as many executives working at the major studios that can not only green light. See, we need blacks that can not only greenlight movies, but also that funding, the financing. We need blacks out there who can finance movies. Then we also need blacks out there that can distribute movies. See, here's the thing that people don't understand. This thing is a business. Like, you can have the best screenplay, the best story ever, but you got to get it greenlit. Then after that, you got to get it financed. Then after that, you got to get it distributed. Then that's when you hit my department. After that, you got to get somebody to validate it. See, they're good at the game. See, there's a lot of movies that get greenlit and they get financed, they get distributed, and then on the back end of that, they get validated. Because the majority of the people who do the validation don't look like me, they don't look like you. So if you ever wonder why you hear about these movies that are supposed to be so fantastic and awesome, it's because they got the validators to support them. See, if we come out with our movies and we get them greenlit and we get them financed, we get them distributed, then we need the validators to say, hey, this movie, like there's a movie coming out in May called Belle. Awesome movie, but it needs to be validated. Because the movie's already been greenlit, it's already been shot, it's already been financed, it's going to get distributed. Now we need the validators to say, hey, that's a dope story. No, for real, that's a dope story. Because the validation is what equals box office. And at the end of the day, it's all about how much money did this movie make? Because we greenlit it for you, and we financed it for you, and we distributed that movie for you. All that costs money, so they want their money back, plus some over the top. It's all about making that green, man. My grandfather told me a long time ago in Princeton, man, I remember, I'll never forget, it was a hot summer day, we were sitting on the porch, I think it was tea time. Yes, my family in New Jersey's bougie. It was tea time, and we're sitting on the porch. He told me one very important thing. He said, you know what? It's always about the money. Don't take that as an insult. Don't take it as being negative. But it's always about the money. There is always someone, somewhere counting.
Comment on the Kansas City scene. Do we have talented writers, directors?
I guess. It's hard.
It's not Hollywood.
No, it's not even friendly to Hollywood because we did away with the tax breaks and we did away with the film commission and the film office. So this is definitely not a town that's out courting Hollywood to come here and do anything, which to me is ludicrous. I don't understand that. Mr. Mayor, what's his name? Sly James. Step up, son. Let's make this happen, man. I mean, you look good in your suits and your bow ties, and you tweet all the time, and I see you on camera giggling with the businessmen and having a good time, and I'm not knocking what you do, and I hear you're doing a respectable job. Let's step up the film game.
Let me read to you this last question. I'll give you the floor for final words.
All right.
You've won a lot of awards, Mr. Edwards, for your work.
Not.
According to the
Google.
Unbiased website. Yeah. But I would like to focus a little bit on your giving back. Right. Can you talk about the work that you've done in the community to mentor others?
Oh, yeah. Well, it started with Generation Rap. That's one of the reasons why I took that job to work with the high school students, to show them and teach them, you know, how to become like young professionals, how to strive to do something better. It's one of the reasons we did a celebration of Black film. I mean, we're trying to create scholarships for young people who were interested, in film, in cinema, in television, in broadcast, and we want to do more of that. I mean, it's all about giving back. You talked about what's the future like for Black film. Well, the future is having these young kids who have a love of movies and want to make movies, have the proper channels and have the proper access to walk through the right doors so that they can learn the process, go to the right schools, network with the right people, socialize with the right people, learn the craft, hone their craft, and have a true opportunity to compete on a level playing field with all these other people out here who are making movies and creating things visually for us to watch and see at home and on the big screen and on our phones and tablets. So, whatever I can do to help open the door or mentor someone, or more importantly, back to the money, provide some scholarships, we'll make it happen, whatever I can do. At the end of the day, like when I'm like, if I live long enough to be 70, 80, that's all I want to do is I just want to hand out money to people to make movies so I can sit at home and watch and say, hey, I remember when this kid was 15, hustling, trying to make some stuff. Now he's 30 and he's knocking it out for Universal or Warner Brothers or Paramount with a major motion picture that was #1 at the box office that weekend and smashed everything else and brought in $80 million in 48 hours. Something like that would be really cool. So yeah, it's all about giving back, making it happen, and hopefully that's what I Love Black Movies ultimately, that's the goal, is to just be this vehicle where that online community of people who love Black movies can come together and learn and grow and educate one another and provide opportunity. It's all about providing opportunities.
So, Mr. Edwards,
I don't want this whole thing that I'm doing to go wasted. It's like, because it's not about that.
Good God. I gotta ask you. So, is Beyonce really the most influential American?
I don't know. You're asking me. I don't work for Time Magazine. I mean, Time Magazine said so. I wouldn't. I didn't even know Time Magazine still existed, to be honest.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't even think they still print Time Magazine. No, Beyonce is very creative and she's very talented and she does a lot of cool things. I don't know if she's the most influential person, but I know she helped save the music industry, because what she did with like dropping that album out of the blue and creating that fury on iTunes and doing what she's doing when she goes on tour is like the new model for how you survive a weak music industry. I mean, she gave the music industry straight CPR. Like music industry was laying flat. Like she was like, Now, I guess. I don't know. I mean, if I owned a magazine and I had to choose a person, I wouldn't necessarily say it was Beyonce. But, I don't work for Time and I don't own Time. But, the cover looked hot.
We have
cover look good.
Mr. Shawn Edwards, Fox film critic.
She's quite like Beyonce.
And man of many coats and colors. It's truly been a privilege
this
to
is
have
fun,
you
man.
here
Let's hope
today.
people watch this.
Hopefully we can have you come back maybe next year.
No, yeah, we can do some updates, because by then, hopefully I've gotten a few good. I keep hearing my phone pop, and I'm getting some texts as we speak. But yeah, I would love to come back and talk about the progress of Black Tree on TV on Soul of the South and I Love Black Movies TV and some of the things we're doing at iloveblackmovies.com and a couple of other movie projects that we're working on. I'd definitely love to do an update. And then, we'll still be doing it at Fox 4 News, fox4kc.com. Definitely check that out.
www.whatsupkansascity.net.
Yeah, that's more important, so you can watch this.
And remember, the sky is the limit. Aim high. Shoot for the moon. If you miss, at the very least, you would have landed among the stars.
Thanks a lot, my man. This is good, man. Great questions, by the way, too, man. Awesome.
Kaboom.
All right, cool.
What's up, Kansas City? I'm Brianna Garlington.
I'm Charles Williams.
And I'm Derek Parker.
And we are CMG.
CMG.
And we would like to welcome you to follow both websites. That's whatsupkansascity.net and cascadesports.tv.
Some of our programs consist of Are You Awoke?, Coach's Corner, and many more interviews, news, and blogs.
Be sure to like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram at Cascade Media Group and Twitter at What's Up KC and Cascade Sports.
And remember, the victory we call success
Goes to the best prepared.
And when you invest in your community,
You are really just investing in yourself.
So don't just like it, share it.